Hello and welcome. I'm Natalie from NB Cards, and today I'm going to show you how I made this Thankful for You greetings card. To start with, I've got a 4x6 inch card base. This one that I'm going to use today I cut from some white hammered card from Hobbycraft. This one is just one of the Hobbycraft card blanks, which is plain. It hasn't got any texture on it, but I'm quite into this hammered cardstock at the moment. Next, I cut myself a card panel, which is slightly smaller. I think it's 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 inches. So there's a gap around the outside, and then from that I used this Sizzix die to cut this aperture, or these little apertures, in the card panel, because what I'm going to do next is make a piece of mixed media to go behind this, and I'll also use the mixed media piece to create part of the embellishment that goes on top. So I'm just going to cut this piece again of hammered cardstock at about 3.5 inches by about 5.5 inches. It's just going to go behind here once it's got its colour on it, and that'll also give me a little bit here, whoops, that I can die cut my embellishments from. To create some extra texture on this cardstock, I'm going to use this embossing folder. It's by Design Objectives Limited. I know nothing else about it because I found it in a charity shop, but it's got kind of, I don't know what the technical term is, but it's two-way embossing. Some of the embossing is this way and some of the embossing is that way. So let's do that. So now we're going to add some colour, and I'm going to use Salvage Patina Distress Oxide and just brush it on like this. To give it a bit of a distressed look, I'm going to squirt it with some drops of water. Give that a second, and then mop up the water with some paper towel. And I'm going to dry it with my hairdryer. Just do a little preview. So that's what that's going to look like through there, but we're going to do some more to it. I'm going to splatter on some Distress Oxide, same colour. I'm going to keep this monochromatic. Just add a bit of water to that there, and pick it up with a brush, splatter it on. So those splatters have dried nice and dark, so they give a little bit of extra depth and dimension to it. I'm also going to add a bit of gold splatter, because no project is ever complete without a little bit of metallic, preferably gold splatter. And now that's dry, I'm going to add some Cosmic Shimmer Gilding Flakes. So I've got my Zig two-way glue. I'm going to apply this with the tip of my finger to give it, again, a bit of a distressed look, so it's not too uniform. And I'm applying it obviously while it's wet and it's blue, but once it's gone clear and dried, then I'll stick the gilding flakes on. I just drag it across in clumps to see where I put the glue, because it's not obvious on this blue background, and that will give me an idea of where to add more. And to burnish it, I just use an old rag really. This is just a tea towel. I try not to rub too hard though, because I don't want to rub the glue off while it's still gummy. I want to get rid of a bit of gummy glue, but I think that's fine. Now I'm going to get my panel and see where the best bit is going to be. Quite like that because I've got a bit coming in from either side, so I think we'll do that. And I'm going to get a pencil and just mark there and about there, so I know what I can remove, and then I'll know what I've got for my embellishments. So to adhere that, I'm just going to use this high-tack all-purpose very sticky glue, which is my general all-purpose glue, as it says on the tin, and add that around and about, and where there's a bit of extra white paper, add a little bit more so the middle bit gets glued down as well. A few little dobs here and there. And what I like to do to press down my gluey things is to put a bit of deli paper over and just press down, and that way any glue just lifts off onto the deli paper and doesn't get squidged everywhere and all over my hands. So that's the card panel. We can stick this on here now, but because I've got this raised area, I'm going to add a bit of card here and here just so it's all at the same level. And I like to use tape to put my card panels on my card blanks so that the glue, well, because glue will warp the card blank. So a bit of tape runner will do that. So now it's time to create my embellishments. I'm going to start with this frame. I've got a frame die. I believe this one was from Rosie's Studio, I think. Might be wrong, but it's just a Polaroid style frame. And I've cut two pieces out of the same hammered white cardstock to keep that clean and simple thing going. And all I'm going to do is add a little bit of glue around the edge of the bottom frame, not too much because I don't want it squirting out the sides, and then add the second frame on top, and this just gives it a bit more dimension. Oops, I've still got gilding flakes everywhere, and just use my tweezers to kind of knock everything to where it should be. And again, I can use my deli paper just to press down so that it's nice and flat and all the glue's wiped away. So I can put that to one side, that's done. I've got this little tag die and I'm going to use that to cut a nice bit. Doesn't really matter what orientation, I just want to make sure it's got a bit of the gold in it to bring that to the front. So there's that little bit, and that will sit on top of the frame. And I've die cut a gold heart using this sort of intricate heart die. I don't know where this is from. Again, I think this was a charity shop find. We've got a charity shop in our town that exclusively sells craft products. So I go in there once a month and have a good rummage around and come out with lots of bits and bobs that are unbranded or unlabelled at least. So I never know where anything's from unless it's got it printed on the back. But this is just a lovely little intricate heart die. And I'm using some gold glitter. I think this is Crafter's Companion gold glitter cardstock, and it's non-shedding, which is lovely. And it's just a little subtle hint of extra gold on there. And now for the butterfly. Now, I was wondering about cutting it out of this, but on the original card I did a separate piece with some printing of text on it. So I think I'll do that again because I quite enjoyed that. So we're back to the Distress Oxide and the hammered cardstock, And I'm going to cover it in, well, not the whole piece, I don't need to do the whole piece. I'm going to give it a liberal inking of the blue. It doesn't need to be a huge area because the butterfly is only small. And I use this Thankful for You stamp, which I believe is from Elle's Studio. And I'm going to use, I think we're going to go peacock feathers because I want a shade darker with the stamping, just so it is a bit more visible. I'm just going to do lots of little ghost stamps, first generation, second, third, along there, just to create a bit of visual texture for the butterfly. So when that's cut out, you won't be able to read any of it, but I'll know it's there. And once again, a bit of splattered gold. That's nice and dry now, so we can pop our butterfly on. I'm going to use a little bit of post-it tape to hold it in place, and then I'll run it through the die cutting machine. There we go, that's what it's, whoops, that's what it's going to look like. But I do want to cut out one more because I want to lift it up a bit, give it a bit more dimension. So that's quite nice actually, with the sort of ombre effect of the fading out of the ink. I wonder if I just pop that on there. Ooh, I'm half tempted to use that one. Yeah. I'm going to use that one. I really like that one. Now, I'll keep that for another project. So I'm going to cut a third one out, so I've got that extra one. I will, though, add a little bit of text onto the wings because that has got lost. There we go, we can pop some glue on this fella. Okay, and give it a little squeeze in a few places to make sure everything's lined up as it should be. There we go, one butterfly. And I want my sentiment, I did it in black because I think it just helps it stand out a little bit. Got this little stitched rectangle die which I use for a lot of sentiments because it's about the right size for the Elle Studio typewritten sentiments. They're not really designed for cards, I don't think. I use them in memory keeping, journaling, but some of them work really well. So I've got an extra one that I'm going to use to prop up this one when it's on its place here. So now let's get assembling. How did we do this? So we had our frame at a jaunty angle about there. We'll stick that down. We'll just get everything stuck as we go because I know what I'm aiming for. Then I think we want the heart. Now I'm just going to put glue down the middle of the heart and a little bit on the either side because I'm going to line the heart up centralised on the frame there. And then we've got this bit here, which I'm putting on the wonk with the frame. Same orientation as the frame, so it's going like that. Oh, I got mucky something on the card already. Let's see if we can get that off with a bit of baby wipe. No, we have to use a sand eraser on that later. It's always something. So what I've forgotten to do is put the vellum on the back of the butterfly, and I like to do this with Holy die cuts because it gives them a little bit of solidity, but not too much, so you can still see through to the colour and the pattern behind, but it helps them stand off a bit. And I'm going to make a little sticker out of it with my Xyron sticker maker, because I find this is a good way to adhere vellum to the back of die cuts. Give it a good rub. And I'll use my precision scissors to cut him out. So that's done. I'm going to put it through the Xyron again to make it into a sticker again, so that that vellum is pressed in the gaps. The vellum, the whole of the vellum becomes a sticker then. And that can go, I'm going to just gently put that down because I want to line the words up. With that, I don't want wonky, I want that straight. I'll use my T-square ruler, get you out of the way. Get it. Pop that down, get that lined up, and that's going to go about there, and that's going to go out there. Okay, so I want to add that extra bit of thingamy-bob. I want to create a little shelf, as it were, to sit the end of the sentiment on, because otherwise it's going to flop down because it's up on 1, 2, 3 layers of card. Hang on, get myself in a pickle here. Get that bit of tape off. Stick that on there and just make sure that's all lined up and that works. I think that's fine. And then we can add some glue to that and add some glue to that. And I roughed the edge of the panel up on this one, which I think I'll do again. I just ran my nail down the edge. I do have a distressing tool, but sometimes that's a little bit much, whereas with this you just get a little bit of a distressed edge. I do have some little enamel dots which I'm wondering about. Maybe just a couple of blue ones, very pale blue. These are again from Hobbycraft, they're Violet Studio I think is the brand. Just adds a little bit of gloss and a bit of dimension. And there you have it, a clean and simple Thankful for You card. I hope you like the card. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do leave me a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will hopefully see you back here very soon. Bye for now.